Hey guys, before we get into this video, I'm going to ask that you politely search my channel and go ahead and click the subscribe button. It is my goal to obtain at least 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year 2024. I know we can do it and I appreciate your support. Now let's get into it. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be talking about top 4 mistakes to avoid in your interview to make you more successful in your interview process. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I actually have 8 tips, but I'm saving those 8 tips for my people who want to enroll in my deluxe membership course or enroll in my YouTube membership, whichever one comes first. Most likely it's going to be in my deluxe course. So if you want to know the full 8 tips, please enroll in that course. It is listed online on my website. The link is also linked in my description box. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the reason why you want to be aware of these mistakes is because in your interview, it is your opportunity for you to show your best self. It is your opportunity for you to showcase what you know about the organization that you want to join, in addition to getting to know the members and for the members to get to know you a little bit better, for them to determine whether or not you'll be a good fit for the organization that you want to join. Now, the reason why I'm sharing these tips with you is because I don't want you to make these common mistakes. I'm not giving tips on questions that you can answer or how the interview itself may go. These are just strictly tips on how you can maintain your most professional self as you're interviewing for the organization of your choice. So one of my tips that I highly recommend that you avoid is not dressing professional. Unprofessional dress is one of the main things that will ping you as far as interviewing for not only an organization that you want to join, but also for a job. So it's always important to look your best and dress your best. That means making sure that your hair and your nails are well kept. If you're a gentleman, making sure that your hair is cut or well kept, that you have that nice clean cut look for your interview. I've spoken before in the past about avoiding certain colors. I still stick to that because it's just best to maintain neutral colors or neutral tones when you're interviewing. Some people choose black, some people choose gray, some people choose beige. It really doesn't matter, but it's really best to just steer clear of the organization's colors so that they don't have any, particular offense from seeing you wear their colors without you being a member of their organization. Some people are actually like that, some people aren't, but if you just want to keep it safe, keep it neutral. One of my other tips that I think is really important to pay attention to is your timing. I usually tell people that it's always best to arrive early rather than on time, but there is such thing as arriving too early. Some organizations like to get to their destination early so that they can prep and get themselves together. So if you show up early before they're ready, it may kind of give the wrong impression on both ends, as far as you thinking they're unprepared and as far as them thinking that you showed up way too early than they needed you to. So my best window for arriving early is usually to arrive about 10 to 15 minutes early, depending on where you are and what you're doing. But if you're like 15 minutes early, kind of hang out outside, and then at the 10-minute mark you can kind of come near that building or near that designated area where you should be, just so you can like be in the vicinity. But there is such thing as arriving too early. Don't arrive 30 minutes early, don't arrive an hour early, because most likely the chapter members are getting there too, so they want to set up and get themselves together. So don't arrive too early to the point where you're kind of like seeing the setup, because that's kind of weird, and then you're kind of awkward standing there watching them get ready. And then also don't arrive too late for obvious reasons. So in regards to the interview itself, you want to make sure that you're maintaining great body language. Body language is really important when you're interviewing because it showcases you as far as your professionalism. I have an issue with verbal pauses. I talk about this all the time. I struggle with saying a lot, mainly because I'm coming up with information on the fly and I'm not really rehearsing what I'm saying. So I think and talk at the same time. Don't do that. Don't be me. Do as I say, not as I do. So in your interview, it's always great to maintain great body language and great communication skills. I do have videos on my I have videos in my course that talk about how you can best present yourself in an interview as far as body language and things like that. So if you want to know more, please subscribe to or enroll in my class. But body language is important. Make sure you're sitting up straight. I also have issue with slouching, as you can see. So sitting up straight, kind of having that poised together look. Don't slouch if you can. My main tip too, as far as nerves, if you get nervous and you're kind of a fidgeter, if you're under the table, that's always great. But my usual thing that I plan to do when I'm in meetings or when I have an event where I have to speak is I usually have a paper clip in my hand, because while I'm great at speaking, I have really bad anxiety. So I'll have a paper clip in my hand and I'll just twirl that around at my desk as I'm talking to kind of keep my nerves down. And that's usually helpful. So try that tip if you haven't tried that. My last and final tip for those of you who are on my YouTube channel is to not ask questions. People who avoid asking questions usually indicate that they are not engaged in the conversation. And you do also have to read the room to confirm whether or not asking questions would be appropriate. Now, it's not appropriate to ask questions if they don't ask you if you have any questions. You can ask them if it's okay if you have a couple of questions at the end. If they ask you, you know, is there anything you'd like to say? You're like, yes, I would like to ask you a couple of questions if that's okay. Then that's totally fine. But if it's a short, sweet, strict, in and out kind of interview, then it's probably not the best time to ask questions. But read the room. So that concludes my tips and advice as far as mistakes to avoid in your interview. If you want to know more, please enroll in my intake prep course that has the full 8 tips. I hope that you enjoyed this video. In the meantime, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and share, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are working on 100,000 subscribers, so if you are not subscribed and you want to see more and also be notified of my videos, go ahead and click that button. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.